Hi, you're with Chandeep and Goodly once again, and in this video I'm going to explore a very important DAX concept that a lot of starters would need when they are starting out their journey with DAX. That concept is a measure is not the row of a table. Let's just go ahead and explore this in a little more detail. Alright, to be able to understand this particular concept, a measure is not a row of a table. Let's just take a look at the problem that I'm trying to solve. Take a look at the data model, really simple, two tables, the products table and the sales table, connected through a one-to-many relationship between the two product code columns that we have in both the tables. Now let's just take a look at a calculation that I'm trying to do. If you actually go over and take a look at the sales data, it's a very simple transactional sales data. So we have the transaction ID, the date of the sale, the affiliate payout date, the region, the product code, the units, the channel, and the order type. This was the original columns that I had, and then I created a calculated column, which I will speak about in just a moment. What I'm trying to do here in this particular table is that I'm trying to calculate the commission that I have to pay to my affiliates. Let me just help you understand. So there are three channels through which we sell products. There is a promotional channel, there is an affiliate channel, and there is an organic channel that we sell the products from. And the commission that we have to calculate is only paid out to the affiliates. That means only to those transactions which are marked as affiliates. And the calculation for a commission is the following. I have to take the units which are right here, multiply the units with the price of the product, which is going to give me my sales value, and the total sales is then going to be multiplied by the percentage of the commission that I have to give on that particular product. As simple as that. But that commission should only go to all those transactions which are actually marked as affiliates, which is right here, so on and so forth, right? How do we do such a calculation? You can see that we have the units right here, but we don't really have the price of the product, nor do we have the commission percentage. Both these columns are there in the products table. So if I just go over and take a look at the products table, we have the price and we have the commission, and using these two columns, I should be able to calculate the commission. Now, if you think about it, the way that you would try to solve this problem in Excel is probably by creating a column. And this is exactly what I have done in order to kind of make sense, to give you familiarity with the concept that I'm trying to build. So what I did was I created this particular column, which is the commission value column. In the commission value column, I wrote a very simple if statement, and I said that, hey, why don't you first of all check the channel? Is the channel affiliate or not? Because I only have to deliver the commission value for affiliates, and that's my starting check. So if the channel equals to affiliate, then you write a VLOOKUP for the price. So if you don't know the related function, I suggest that you take a look at another video of mine to understand how the VLOOKUP is done. But related is nothing but the VLOOKUP of Power BI. So I do a VLOOKUP to get the price. I multiply the price with the units to get my total sales value. And then the total sales is then multiplied with the commission percentage to calculate commission for only those who are marked as affiliates. Pretty cool. And what I did was I then created a visual like you would expect. Here I have the three channels, affiliate, organic, and promotional, taken from my sales table. Against that, I can see my sales value, and I can also see the commission value column that I created. Now, this is the Excel way in which you would try to solve the problem, but let's just now try to optimize this, and let's just start to create a measure in order for us to solve the same problem. Let me go ahead and copy this particular code, because I'm going to use the same logic in a measure as well. I'm just going to copy that particular piece of code and start to create a measure. So I'm just going to right click on my sales table and say new measure, and I'm going to create a measure. Let's just call this measure as commission measure, and I am going to paste the same code right here. And you can see that once I paste the same code, it kind of gives me an error. It says that it can't really find the channel, it can't really find the price and the units as well. Now, here is why there is an error in this particular formula. Remember what I said about the logic that I was trying to build? The concept is a measure is not the row of a table. And that's exactly what is happening as of now here. Let me help you understand. Let's just kind of error this formula out for now. That's okay. Go back to our sales data and take a look at the calculation that we have done here. Once you created a column, it was given for the fact that the formula that we have written right here, which is up on the top right here, this particular formula is going to work in every single row of the table. It's given for the fact. The formula gets copied down and it just calculates all the values. But once you create a measure is not the row of the table. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So once you actually go ahead and you create this particular measure and you say, hey, why don't you start checking in every single row of the channel column, is it affiliate or not? It cannot find the channel column. Now, this brings me to a second concept which links to the concept, is that in order for me to access a row of a particular table, I have to use something called as iterators in Power BI. Now, what exactly are iterators? Iterators are a set of functions that allow you to go take a look at every single row of any particular table. Since I wrote the formula in the sales table, I'm trying to build this particular check in every single row of the sales table, and hence I'm going to use an iterator. I'm going to use the SUMX function, which is an iterator. Any function that ends with an X is an iterator. There are more functions also which are iterators, but that's a ballpark check that you can apply. Any function that ends with X is an iterator. Iterator means a function that gives you the ability to go access a row of any particular table, like first row, second row, third row, so on and so forth. So I'm going to say that, hey measure, first of all, I would want you to go take a look at the sales table, and in every single row of the sales table, I would want you to perform this calculation. Take a look, the SUMX has got a table and the expression part. The expression part, which is the if function and onwards, is going to be carried out in every single row of the table that I have just mentioned. And now you can see that the formula starts to work. There is no error, there is no underline, and the formula is just fine. If I now drag this particular formula to this particular visual, and it just gives me the same answer, which is all good. Now, why does it happen that people who are starting out with Power BI and start creating measures tend to believe that the measure is a row of the table, and they are just going to copy the same formula that you had in a column and try to replicate that formula in a measure? Why does that thinking happen? Let me bring you to another subsequent concept. When I was creating a measure, what I did was I went to the sales table, I right-clicked on the sales table, and I said a new measure. When you right-click on the table and you call out the measure and you create a measure, people tend to believe that this measure is going to nearly work the same way as a column would work. They somehow believe that the sales table has got something to do with the measure that I am creating, which is absolutely a myth, and the sales table has got nothing to do with the measure that you're creating. Now, this commission measure that we have created has got nothing to do with the holding table, which is the sales table right here. The measure is actually impacted by the DAX that you write inside of that, which is nothing but this particular DAX statement that we have written, and how the relationships of the two tables are set up at the back. That is what is going to impact the calculation and the output of the measure, not the holding table. Which actually brings me to another concept that I would like to talk about, is that you can probably create a measure in any table. It doesn't really matter. So even if I just go ahead and click on this particular measure right here, and I move the table from the sales table and move it to the products table, the measure is still going to give you the same output. So if I just click on that measure and I go over from the sales table and I change the table to products table, you can see that now the host table is now the products table, and the measure still delivers me the correct output, although this measure is now housed in the products table. The holding table does not have any impact on the measure. There are two important concepts that I have spoken about in this particular video. First is that a measure is not the row of a table. If you want to go access rows of a particular table, like the way that you access that in a column, you have to start using iterators. That is concept number one. Concept number two is that because you right-clicked on any particular table and you created a measure in that table, that does not mean that the holding table is impacting the calculation in any way. The DAX and the relationships actually, control all the calculations, not the holding table at all. Alright, that was all about a measure is not a row of a table. I hope that clarifies a lot of doubts that you must be facing while you're starting out your journey with Power BI and you're trying to replicate column calculations into measures and they are not really working out as supposed that they should be, right? Let me know if you have any questions around this and I'll be glad to actually help you out. In the end, a quick shout out about my DAX and my Power Query courses in case you're starting out and you'd like to build some solid fundamentals around DAX and Power Query and then move on to more complicated, more dense calculations. I'd highly recommend that you take a look at my courses. It's going to be extremely beneficial. Thanks so much for sticking around with me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye.